Peter and the Wolf by Sergei Prokofiev. The melodies are arranged by me, Winston Lee. I will also narrate the story. In this story, Peter will be represented by the strings, like so. The bird will be represented by the flute, like so. The duck will be represented by not the oboe, but the clarinet, like so. The cat will not be represented by the clarinet, but instead the guitar, like so. The grandpa will not be represented by the bassoon, but will use the motif similar to Peter. The hunters are not played by the kettle drums, but instead the kaiko drums, like so. The big, mean, gray wolf will be represented by the strings, but won't have the same motif as Peter's. This story starts when young Peter decides to go out into the meadow and walk around. his grandpa came. He said, "It's dangerous to go outside nowadays. What will you do if a big gray wolf comes out of the forest?" Peter paid no attention to his grandfather's words. He just marched out of the gate and into the meadow once again. This time, he encountered a little bird, his best friend. "All is quiet, all is quiet," chirped the little bird. And then a duck came waddling around. She was glad that Peter hadn't closed the gate. She hopped into the pond and began to relax. Quack! Confused to what he is seeing, the bird simply asked, "What kind of bird are you if you can't fly?" The duck said to this, "What kind of bird are you if you can't swim?" While the two birds were busy arguing, Peter noticed something on the corner of his eye. It was a cat, sneaking around on his velvet paws. The cat said, "The bird is busy arguing. I'll just grab him and eat him sooner or later." "Look out!" shouted Peter. The bird, hearing his words, began to flutter away and up a tree. Seeing this, the cat asked to himself, "Is it worth going up there? If I climb up there, he's probably gonna flutter away. What to do? Then, Peter asked the bird to fly down and onto his shoulder so that the cat would never harm him. The bird said, "Okay," and hopped on. To this, the cat said, "Ah, darn it! There goes my chances." Then Peter said, "Let's go," and then they started looking for a wolf, which to me is basically looking for a bad night's sleep. Came out of the forest, growling and snarling. once again. This time, the wolf came right after her. The problem was, she ran out of the pond to outswim the wolf. Unfortunately for the duck, the wolf was going closer, closer, closer. And then he got her and swallowed her. Afraid they will be next, the cat, Peter, and the bird clambered up the tree in panic. Being the smart little guy he is, Peter said to the bird, "Fly down around the wolf's head and be careful not to touch his head. Otherwise, just taunt him until he is dizzy." The bird said, "Tweet, tweet, you can't catch me." Meanwhile, Peter made a little lasso to tie around the wolf's tail. Slowly, slowly, slowly lowering it down around the wolf's tail. Just waiting for the right moment. And then he was caught. Feeling himself caught, the wolf began to jump uncontrollably, scared that he would be on the chopping block. Just then, the hunters came. They were following the wolf's trail and shooting as they went. From up the tree, Peter shouted, "Don't shoot! Birdie and I have already caught the wolf. Now help me take him to the zoo." Now, just imagine the grand procession as the wolf was carried off to the zoo. At the head, Peter, marching around, happy, twirling his little pop gun. Right behind is the cat, marching around smug as ever. "I might not have eaten the bird, but I have helped with catching my worst enemy, the wolf." Behind the cat were the hunters, holding the wolf on their shoulders. And rounding up the parade, Grandpa was walking around in his slow pace, muttering to himself, "What would have happened if the wolf was not caught? Would my grandson be eaten? Oh, best not worry about it." pillows Peter and I are. Look what we have got. If one paid close enough attention, one could hear the duck still quacking from inside the wolf, because in his haste the wolf swallowed her whole. The end. I want to just say thank you to Walt Disney Productions for the images, and that's all for today. Thank you very much.